Hi guys, and happy Sunday. Today is January 9th, and it's a very cold day here in Chicago. We had some freezing rain yesterday, which I think the streets are pretty much clear now, but our sidewalks are still slippery. So be safe wherever you're at. So I'm continuing today with our mini catalog tour. Now, if you joined in with me yesterday, you saw that I went through the first tab in my mini catalog of the items that I've purchased, and that is the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. Now, everything can be found in this January to June mini catalog that I'm going through today. So the next set I'm going through is a bundle also, and it's called the Hello Ladybug bundle. So it includes the Hello Ladybug stamp set as well as the punch. Okay, so I'm going to show you really quickly here how that's going to turn out. So there's how it is. Using this is from the main catalog. It's the gold and rose gold specialty metallic paper. So we're using that for the wings. And I think that we're going to keep the same color scheme, but I do think these wings kind of lead you to where you could actually do something more in the brights, like with a flirty flamingo, mango melody, something along that lines. But I'm going to keep it this color scheme just for the sake of mimicking this card. So let me put this up to the side here so you can't see it. And again, it's the punch and the Hello Ladybug stamp set, which is a photopolymer, which means you'll want to use your piercing mat when you're working with it. We're also going to be using a folder from the current catalog, the annual catalog, and that's the dots and stripes. Let me get to it really quick here, just so you can see. Checks and dots, I'm sorry. So we're going to use the dots for the background on this. And I think that's pretty much, so yeah, we're using a base that's the thick white, basic white cardstock. We're going to be using some basic black, real red, and then scraps of white. Not only to punch, but to also do your little banner. So let me put that up here for now, and let's just go ahead. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make our background. So get out your piercing mat, and I am using the real red, but I'm stamping off twice. That way it's a very faint background. Okay, so as you can see, stamping off twice. And I'm going really, really fast. My husband and dog are already back from their morning walk because, you know, like I said, the sidewalks are very slippery, so they didn't stay out very long. So let me just go ahead. Let me go way in on that one. That way we're getting different perspectives. Oh, I didn't even hit that, did I? There. Good enough. So then let's put that over there. Then I'm going to take a piece of black cardstock and I'm going to cut that down. And I'm going to cut it down to not a normal base layer. We're going to go down a little bit. So I am going to take a whole inch off. So that means that I am going, let's see, did I go an inch off? No, I went 3/4 off. Sorry. So we're going to go at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So we took off 3/4 of an inch. So then that's going to make that red. I want to make that just a little bit smaller. So that's going to make it 4 1/2. So I'm only going 1/4 smaller now. And 3 1/4. So you can see how that's going to layer on there just perfectly. All right. Another reason why I'm doing that is that I also want to be able to use that folder, and we know if it goes through the baby, it has to be smaller than 3 3/4 inches. Okay, so let's take out the baby. Now remember to read your plates. So for the baby, if this is a regular folder, it's not a 3D one. So in your mama, it's going to be plate 1 and then 2 of the 3s. But on the baby, it's going to be plate 1 and 3. So that's all you're using on that. So let me go ahead and put that in there. Remember, reading is fundamental. So make sure you read, because the 2 Stampin' Cut Emboss machines do have different sandwiches you have to use. All right, so there we go with the dots on that. So let me go ahead, close this up, put it back up here on my shelf so it's out of the way. Now, when I have something embossed, I don't run my Stampin' Seal over it. I think that sometimes I feel like it pushes it down a little bit. So I'm going to use the tear and tape. I got a little happy on that edge right there, so let me tear that off like that. I just find that the tear and tape for me works better with these embossed, because you know you have all those ridges and you want to make sure that you get a good firm grasp. All right, looks like I pretty much got that rub on there. And let me go ahead and pick that off. Oh, here's my tape. Just so it kind of keeps. Oh my goodness. There we go. Just so they don't end up on the floor. Because my dog thinks it's whipped cream and he tries to eat them. If you don't understand the story, you'll have to look at a previous video where I talk about how Finn thinks that it's his puppuccino. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and get that out of the way. All right, so let me go ahead and layer that on there. But now that that's on there, now you actually can go ahead and use your Stampin' Seal. To attach that to your thick, basic white cardstock. All right, so there's the beginning of that. All right, then we're going to take our piece of the rose metallic. We're going to grab our punch. We're going to put it in just to the edge and the edge and punch that out. We'll leave that right there for now. Okay, and then we're going to take some of our scraps here. Now, when you get your stamp set, when it's a photopolymer and there's a lot of surface there, remember that you have to rough it up. Now, I usually rough it up on a brown paper bag because there's a little bit of that film left on there, or that finishing product. So I always make sure that I've roughed it up a little bit before I stamp it for the first time. And even so, you might get some air bubbles because it is a big surface. And if you know what I mean, when I'm stamping down, I see there's a little bit of an air bubble. But then when I look at it, I see that it looks pretty well covered. And you are going to just hang on to it for a second, especially with the photopolymer. I like to make sure that it's really made contact with it. Now there's a little bit of a boop there, but guess what? We're going to be punching it out, so it doesn't matter. All right, let's grab that stamp again. We're going to line it up. I like going by the antennas. And then after I get the antennas in there, then I move the body around. Oh, sorry. Try not to get my head in there. There we go. Oh, there's my dog. Could probably start on a big old barking campaign right now because my husband probably hasn't given him his little treat after his walk. I've asked him not to do that. He spoiled him, but it's now a learned behavior that we can't seem to get rid of. Okay, so there we're going to have that here. We're going to pop that up with a couple of dimensionals from my latest paper pumpkin kit. Oh, I have my pick tool there. I should have just gone ahead and used that. All right, so anyway, so we're going to go like that in the upper hand of the card. Then I have these strips. I always have all these strips laying around. So I'm going to actually cut this off so that it just goes over that one layer. So if you remember, this first one was 4 3/4. So let me go ahead. I'll go over here instead of bringing it back into the picture on my side table and cut it. Oh, that was 4 3/4. Oh my goodness, sorry. 3 3/4 because it's 4 1/4 across. Now I'm beginning to doubt my measurements. Yeah, 3 1/2. Okay. That's right, it's 3/4 of an inch smaller. Oh my gosh, people. I'm just so worried about the dog and the husband that I'm not thinking straight. But of course, anyone who's watched my videos knows that I rarely think straight. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, since this is kind of an off color here, and there is a, I think there's a sparkly red that's in the catalog too, but you know me, I like to be different. So I'm going to take Calypso Coral and I'm going to stamp it off once. You know what? Before I do the inside, let me do the outside. I'm using gray granite. I don't want it to be so stark black and white like it was, because I'm trying to, even though I could use black and look fine, I'm trying to tone it down to compensate for having that that rose metallic in there. So I'm going to go ahead, and I hope my head's not in the scene. So there's that great granite. And then on the other side, I have mounted the shell, and that's going to be in the Calypso Coral. And I'm going to stamp that off once. And I line it up, and again, I hope I don't get my head in there. Lining it up with those dots. And then the cutest sayings are in this. This "May your greatest wish come true" fits too, but I love this. You can bug me anytime. So then on that, I am going to do that, I think, in the memento, just so it stands out. Let me put that back up here. Get a couple more dimensionals. I'll do 3 so we have one supported in the middle there. Instead of relying on my nails, I'll use my take your pick tool. Oh, maybe I won't. Oh, there. I don't have the right angle. All right. And put that across there. Of course, if you wanted to do some jewels, you could, but since I have so much height on it already, I'm not going to put anything else. And there you are. Oops, I dropped it on the floor. Oh, goodness. Now you probably see my carpet or my feet. Sorry. All right, so there you go. A fun, quick friendship card to send out in a moment's notice. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great Sunday, and we'll talk to you soon.